That is called as KYT, Know Your Team.
Okay.
Your team is beyond their CV, beyond their performances, beyond their numbers. Your team is also a person that you need to know.
Now, is there any importance of body language while you're facing
Totally.
interviews?
Totally. I'll actually demo this and show you.
Okay. Everyone, and welcome to the Unscripted Me. Today we have with us Supriya Kabra ma'am is there. She is basically a corporate trainer, a HR professional, you can say, and she is also a director of her own consultancy firm in Mumbai. So, rather than speaking myself, let her introduce herself and what basically she is doing, in which field she's expert in. So, over to you, ma'am. Hello and welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bihar. Thank you for having me as well. So, hi everyone, I'm Supriya Kabra. I'm Director of Cosmic Consultant, which is an HR operations consulting. We are also into compliance, payroll, employee engagement, and corporate training segment. The mission that we carry along with all our work is to recreate the complete segment. The way people perceive this segment is not even 10% of what it is.
Right.
Yeah, so we want to recreate all of it. And my personal vision is to make every organization of any size a dream place to work.
Right.
That's the mission, for which we have been nationally awarded as well.
Yeah, ma'am. So basically, you are also involved with, some foundations as well. You also have your own app as
Yes,
well.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I have a app, mobile app, and a software which is majorly into employee engagement, connection, and that space. It is not an HRMS,
Yeah.
neither it is an LMS as such, but it is into its own unique space.
Okay.
I am a CEO to Lajja,
Okay.
which is India's first forum for women development. I'm also associated, rather honored to be associated with couple of renowned colleges where in the capacity of honorary board of director to the management board of studies.
Wow, great.
And some visiting faculties.
Okay, ma'am.
I
So
could find my way. I
you how you land to this profile means how you started everything.
This is very interesting and it brings twinkle to my eye every time whenever somebody asks, because it was a complete ulta journey, it
Yeah.
was different journey. My family had asked me to identify the strengths, weakness, and everything about me first, and then see that which field has similar strengths and weakness and can align with my personality, so that the journey becomes easier. And which is why after filtering a lot of profession, I ended up in HR and training.
Okay.
And then thought ki if I have to get into this field, what degrees do I need?
Right.
And this is how I took my degrees and the journey began.
Okay. So, ma'am, now I have read that you are also into corporate trainings and everything. So,
Yes.
basically, what you are doing with the corporates, what kind of trainings you are providing? Can you just give a bit of intro on that as well?
Sure, yeah. So I personally have a strength in HR training,
Okay.
a few segments of soft skills and behavioral training. But however, in the 16 years of experience, I have developed one of my own signature program, which is called as People's Profit Leader.
Okay.
So this in one sentence, if I have to say, leaders usually are found as either people's leader or profit leader. But the overall organization profit and development and growth remains only if these two are very well balanced, and that only a leader can do.
Right.
Which is why this program, though this is about my strength, but with my organization, I'm proud to say that I have a couple of great trainers associated and empaneled with us, which are not only nationally renowned but also internationally working in their own respective spaces.
Okay. So, ma'am, if I want to know more about this, just can you brief me about this program?
Sure. So, while, as I said, while working with organizations and while working with leaders very closely, I could realize that, So one of the example I will want to give so that you can relate to it, maybe, people. So you find somebody who is very driving, he's giving great numbers, he's giving great performance. It may not be a salesperson only, it can be any other operation, technical, non-technical, any department person. And you find somebody very competent with in terms of performance.
Okay.
Okay. You pick this person up and make them a team leader. Okay. Gradually, and this is not only about first time managers. Okay. This is also about the existing managers. For years, they are into leadership space, leading 4 people team to 40 people team to 400 people team, but may fail to evolve one with time. Two, that balance, as I was talking about, that people and profit needs to go hand in hand.
Right.
And the formula for both of this need to evolve also with time.
Okay.
Correct. And which is why we came up with this signature program, which can help leaders empower in themselves. They can have their own clear plan. I came up with a journal also, right from competency based hiring to the exit, the complete employee life cycle. A leader can manage, customize for each of its team member. In that, there is also one concept which is very interesting according to me, because obviously if something that I have developed, I'm going to, this is going to be close to my heart.
Okay.
Right. That is called as KYT, know your team.
Okay.
Your team is beyond their CV, beyond their performances, beyond their numbers. Your team is also a person that you need to know.
Right.
And once you know what person you are working with, what kind of person that person is, what is his mindset, how do he think, you should not be able to only better predict that person, but you should be able to navigate, and you become the
Exactly.
complete GPS for that team leader, which is the primary role, or
Yeah.
I believe a major focus of any leader
Yes.
should be
Yeah.
lying in becoming a GPS for their team members.
Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, apart from this, you are a corporate trainer. So, what else services in corporate trainer you are providing? Means what kind of trainings you are providing? What other areas you are expertising?
Correct. Correct. So that's a great question, because, as I said, other than this signature program, there had been times when company have given me an assignment for induction batch, the new
Okay.
freshers who come in, to groom them, to create the complete mindset, including the email etiquette, including their body language, including their interpersonal communication. How are they going to? So creating a mindset which is conducive to accept things coming their way.
Yeah.
Okay. So from there to leadership batches we have handled. Even to tell you what, a very, very interesting and funny episode is, the very first training that I had given in my life was for regional sales manager of one of the dairy industry.
Wow.
Okay. Very first, I was too young. Probably my audience had much more experience than my age
Yes.
that time. But the very first training was this, and I've been given a task that they had a competitor. So we had to do that complete competitor study. Why are they failing? What is exactly going wrong? And accordingly, we had designed the complete training.
Right.
Okay. But yes, a lot of time we have done induction batches, or leadership batches, team building batches for that matter. Yeah, this is majorly what we do. And personally, if you ask me, I love doing mindset trainings and culture change
Okay.
trainings.
So, ma'am, while you are dealing with these corporates, there are a lot of instances. Even myself in the same business. So there are a lot of instances that when you give a training to a company employees, and they are far more experienced, far more aged than you, so they become rigid towards trainers. So have you ever faced these kind of things?
Yeah, in fact, to tell you what, initially I had this own mind block. I had this own assumption that why will this audience accept me? They are already at manager and above level when I was starting my career.
Right.
Looking at my age, they're not even going to take me seriously. Okay. But then this is when, I believe I had to sit down, do a lot of research, do a lot of content analysis, do a lot of objective analysis also, that what is the objective? Okay, why would a company also hire a young trainer then? Even they know, right?
Yes.
that their audience is not going to accept a young trainer.
Right.
They know their audience much better than me in the capacity of a trainer, probably who is meeting them for the first time.
Right.
Correct? So this gave me a mindset shift. Okay, why will a company want to spend time, energy, and majorly the budget on me? Yeah.
Right.
And then I started doing a lot of research, going deep down the layers that what exactly would they be facing? Sitting with the managers, talking to them, understanding not the exact audience, but understanding their level of challenges. So initially, the very first time when they were seeing me, I could see their faces. Oh God, here comes the young
Yes.
trainer who has never even seen leadership and is going to talk about it. Okay. But the very first few minutes can probably set the tone. So that's
Yeah.
something which is important, I
So,
guess.
ma'am, when we hear about this HR operations and everything, only few things comes in mind. Like first things is that HR means to recruit someone. HR is means to take presence absence of someone. HR means to give the salaries and everything. That's it. So can you just take us to the operations which HR are doing? Because there are lots of misconception about HR.
I so agree. I am so thankful for this behalf because yes, till date, a lot of people meet me when I tell them about my work. They say, "ऐसा consultancy होता है? Do this kind of business model even even
Yes, exactly. True,
alive
ma'am.
exist?" And I feel, oh, okay, I am in a world which is still 50-50. Okay. And I proudly say this tagline every time I say that I'm a HR operations consultant and I say that her HR recruiter nahi hota. Every HR is not a recruiter.
Yeah.
Okay, I conduct a lot of trainings, but a lot of interviews, but on behalf of my client.
Right.
Okay, that is a part of selection. That's not a part of sourcing. Okay, post that comes the complete responsibility of that person right from his day one induction to his development, which includes your performance management, your organization development, which is also employee development plan. I fondly ask this question to almost all entrepreneurs that I have met, that you ask any employee, as in any candidate who comes to you for interview, that what is your plan 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, 5 years down the line. I have a question to the entrepreneurs like this. While hiring and say sales manager, okay, what is your plan 1 year down the line for this particular person?
Right.
Okay, or for this particular position for
Right.
that matter. Yeah, so this is actually the core crux of operations.
Okay.
You become that navigator, guide, lens to the organization. You have to show them the future also, you have to bring them to the present also, and you have to tell them about the past also, that hey dude, look,
True.
you had 1 year out of which one quarter is gone and you are not even reaching one fourth of your performance. So can we sit together to make a plan of action? We do not want to fire you after a year just because you were not performing. Rather, we will want to sit with you, guide you, help. Let's help each other, create a co-creating space where we see a brighter future together.
Right.
Yeah. Recruitment training has a huge cost and a huge mental imbalances too. Every new person coming in and every old person going out creates a huge disturbance at times.
Right.
Okay, so that's exactly operations. Hiring and firing is not operations.
Yes.
You need to sit, create a plan, do the development, find out if there are interpersonal relationships, go issues related to it, go deep dive, find out where the root is,
Right.
work on those root is operations.
Yes. So, ma'am, as an HR, do we need to correlate with what our employees want, what is their needs? We need to understand that as well.
Of course, of course. How will you set a balance? Okay, let's understand this. You want to join an organization, but their values, their way of working, their modus operandi, nothing matches with you.
Right.
Yeah. How would you sustain in an organization like that? In spite of the fact that the organization may be fabulous,
True.
but is not fitting you in. Yeah. So right from hiring, I say that it's not only technical abilities that you match. You match all of this. You match the competencies. Then comes the need analysis, that what exactly does that employee want? What was the plan that we made? I told you, right? 1 year before we have to decide a plan, 1 year
Yes,
later for that employee. Right? See, if these two are not parallel to tracks which are not going to meet anytime in the future.
true.
Yeah. Then you clearly had a bad plan or a bad execution.
Okay,
Yeah. So that parallel need analysis and mapping it becomes very, very, very crucial.
right, ma'am. So, ma'am, now let's start. When people think that when I need to apply for a job or certain job openings comes in a company, and they need to contact HR first. So, what is the basic role of HR over there first in a recruitment?
Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. I'll tell you what. First, one thing I'll want to tell everyone while applying, please apply very customized way. Read the complete vacancy.
Yes,
Yeah. Very off late, like last week, I had open up a vacancy of my company. People from other
states.
states are
Yeah,
applying, other cities are applying, where clearly it is mentioned. Yeah. Read the complete advertisement, read the complete vacancy. You can definitely take out that much 2 minutes of time.
yeah,
Yeah. And then you were talking about employee needs.
yeah,
That gaps would reduce in case if people are also reading mindfully, applying mindfully, people are hiring mindfully. Yeah. And while hiring also, if you are making a competency mapping based hiring, yeah. You remember I told you about competency
yes,
KRAs in my journal? That's exactly this. It's beyond the work, right? You're hiring a person with its baggages, with its mindset, with its do's and don'ts, with everything.
true, ma'am.
Yeah. But try and see through that. Technically, you're through one check box. Great. What about the next? Yeah. If that personality is good, if that person is going to match the culture, the future that you see for this particular position, do you see the scalability?
Yes,
Ask this kind of questions, make them go through this kind of probably, or case studies or practical tests or whatever suits your position or your recruitment process, but make it, conducive to the future, make it
yes,
conducive to the exact requirements,
yes,
than
ma'am.
just asking 4 or 5 typical questions for all the positions.
Yes.
It is not advisable.
So, ma'am, as an HR expert, okay, when that there is a one or two common questions like you say. So the most difficult question which I feel is that describe yourself. So when all the recruiters will ask the first or second question is this: can you describe yourself? So can you just
Correct.
little take us through that how to do that, because that is where everybody find difficult.
Absolutely. I'll give you a quick tip, okay, according to my little
Yeah.
experience. Let's understand the why of this question.
Okay.
Then you can frame your own answers. Yeah.
Perfect.
Why will somebody, you have already submitted a CV in case if you have
Yes.
made a great CV, including everything and not bluffing much.
Even sorry
So
to
you
cut
have
you, ma'am,
written,
but the
yeah,
basic thing, even when I went for the interview in my early days, even I felt the same thing. That I have already submitted my CV to the HR. I already had a word on the call. Or, then also, why this question? And at that time, they ask suddenly, and it's a bit of difficult to answer.
great, interesting.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point. None of them are literate not to read your CV.
Okay.
Okay. So your interviewer has already read you. They want to now know you.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, in your previous 3 organizations, when you're talking about the job profile, not everything that you can cover in a piece of paper. Talk about that. Yeah. That's an opportunity for you to completely lead the interview. Yeah. By some project which is very close to your heart.
Right.
और some achievement जो आपने बड़े खून पसीने की कमाई से लाई थी. Talk about that. Talk about your strengths. Yeah. But you cannot be too direct saying कि, okay, let me tell you my strengths. No. Be very categorically correct while narrating your entire journey, focus and highlight more about your achievements, more about your work, something which is more beyond that CV.
Right.
Yeah. They also want to know you, your family, your background, your vision, mission, your goals, everything about that.
Yeah.
And then we can see that, yeah, culture match bolna hai na, so your background becomes very important.
Important. Yes.
Your way of thinking becomes very important if you have to match the culture.
Yes. Suppose, ma'am, if there are vacancies in South, and if we apply from here, the first thing is that they will not consider us because of that only, the culture and the background only. So, ma'am, now let's move to the another part. Is that you told me that you are also doing training on interview skills and everything, and personality development and behavior and everything. So, what is the relationship between a personality in interviews? Some people are not wearing proper clothes, but then also they got selected, while some are wearing proper clothes, they are not getting selected. So, what
Hmm.
is there any relation between that as well?
I'm in love with this question. Okay. See, though your dressing is very, very important. Okay. Because for example, as fondly these days, even the reels and social media started lot speaking about it, that you really cannot wear a very traditional dress to a pub because in your mind, this is not a fit. Okay. Likewise, vice versa. Now your question is that somebody who is not appropriately,
Yes.
like a three piece suit में नहीं है लेकिन वो select हो गया और मैं तो कोट भी पहन के गया था.
Yeah, exactly, ma'am.
Okay, if that coat was not really important, no, that was just an addition that you had put in.
Right.
Okay, but if that glorified coat is just coating over your knowledge which you don't have,
Right.
coating over the competency that the company was looking in. Yeah.
Right.
And as I said, the skills that they want, the scalability. You know what? Most of the organizations are looking at your skill, looking at you as a person, looking at the scalability part more.
Right.
None of them want. Have you ever heard that, okay, hey, look, I want a general manager only for 6 months? Yeah. I want a sales executive only for 6 months. Yeah. Those
Right.
are there may be some temporary positions, but they are very few. Yeah. So they are looking for a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Where if they feel that थोड़ा बहुत dressing का issue है जो हम सिखा देंगे, it's okay.
Right, ma'am.
And when you know the background of somebody, when you know the intention of someone, you may want to little give a benefit of doubt about the dressing.
Yes.
A lot of people really come from super humble background. They're really needy. Where would they get that three-piece from?
Yes.
Barely they're able to manage a shirt and a pant.
True.
Huh? So interviewers, most of the interviewers are very intelligent. They want to see the person beyond their
Exactly.
clothes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Huh? Clothes are important, but just to maintain that basic decorum and show that you are serious about this job.
Right.
आप यूं ही टी शर्ट पहन के और ट्रैक पैंट में नहीं आ गए हो, दैट इज इनफ.
Yeah. So, do you want to say that product is more important than the packaging? Well,
So I will say product is anytime more important,
okay.
but a little bit of packaging will give you that complete sense. Yeah. For example, even if you are going to a market and you want to pick up as simple as a chocolate, yeah,
Right.
but something which is wrapped up in a plain, say, white paper which we use for printing, and something which is wrapped in a foil, that golden and silver and colorful foil. Which
True.
one will you pick up when you're buying a chocolate?
True, ma'am. Which is more attractive.
So that simple packaging also can make sense if that is the need.
Yes.
Okay. If your job profile requires that basic dressing up, that basic makeup, that basic touchness, then you will have to present yourself like
Exactly,
that.
ma'am.
It
Exactly.
absolutely depends on position to position, right? If I'm hiring, say, for a flight crew
That.
versus I'm hiring for a back office
Yeah.
executive.
So,
Yeah,
now, is there any importance of body language while you're facing
totally,
interviews?
totally. I'll actually demo this and show you.
Okay.
Okay. While right now talking to you, I'm sitting like this and talking.
Right.
Let's assume that you were conducting my interview.
Okay.
Versus I'm sitting like this,
Right.
yeah, continuously probably nodding my head or shaking my hand or fidgeting with any of the instrument.
It's
How
not
does
good.
the perception come in?
It's not good.
It's
I
not
didn't
good
feel. I don't.
because, correct, because in my head I don't know if this person is really too serious.
True.
Yeah, if he's really serious, number one, number two, why is he fidgeting so much and creating a complete nuisance, distracting the complete sense of interview?
Okay.
I'm telling you, I've seen some real cases where on the call when we were talking and conducting a quick first round to filter out, I found that fellow very promising.
Okay.
In the next round, which he probably thought he is the final round, and I am already almost selected. Yeah, when it was sorry, when he felt it is 80%, 90% already done, he came with so much of casualness.
Okay.
Yeah. And the moment I asked him about something was not right with his hair and a little bit of dressing, it was too casual. You don't even think of shaving, you don't even think of combing, it's so funny. And I asked him about that, and he's absolutely replying, अरे वो क्या हुआ ना मैं आज लेट उठ गया तो गड़बड़ हो गया ना हम like अरे is the word that you
My God.
really used to an interviewer. I mean what, this level of casualness, and you assume that you are going to get selected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you.
And
So you know
yeah,
the
most of
same
the
thing.
time during the final rounds, we find a
Exactly.
lot of casualness when they, in their head, they feel they are already selected,
Yeah.
when they get caught.
So ma'am, even when I went for the interview for the LNT first time, there are nearly about 200, 300 people were there for the interview, and what they have done is they have put 3, 4 chairs near the door, and people are coming inside, thus kicking the chair and going and sit inside. So we 3 or 4 people, we are friends. Our professor teaches that these kind of tricks maybe are there. So we took those chairs, put it aside, and then we'll sit. Within a half an hour, the list come out, and only four of us were selected. So this kind of process is for the selection as well. Now, so these kind of tricks are there.
Yeah. Sometimes I make people sit. I also do that. Sometimes
Okay.
I make people sit only just to see what are they doing, what is their patience level. Yeah. Especially for the positions who demand patience,
Right.
who demand that calmness.
True.
Yeah. And then I will want to check their patience by making them either sit or giving them some assignment which is really long, lengthy, and then see what do they do about it.
Right.
Yeah. These days, with due respect, but a lot of people will do what? They will use AI tools and quickly complete and
Yes.
come and present and whatever. They're smart, yeah. But why did you use AI? When we ask them, they're caught.
Exactly. True.
Yeah? Then when we ask them, okay, why this content? Why this piece of content in your entire presentation? If you haven't owned it, if you really didn't relate to the content,
Yes.
you're gone.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to know it. Yeah? Sometimes some other test, very rigorous practical test, becomes very important to see if that person is very hands-on to the tools
Okay.
which he will be required to use. Yeah?
Right.
And if you're not that great and fast in using the tools, you're going to take your your turnaround time for a work is going to be high.
Right.
Yeah. Then clearly my human capital ROI, which I try and create, one of the strengths that I am developing, I'll say, because it's such a huge subject. Shayad till the last breath, I'm just going to learn human capital ROI. Yeah, but then that proportionately gets very
Yes.
disturbed and diluted,
Yes.
right? So
Exactly.
yeah. So if I'm paying 80,000 or 1 lakh to a person
Person. Yeah.
per month, so then I need somebody with a quick skills in XYZ things.
True, man. So, ma'am, now let's go. Through the recruiter. Now let's go through the HR. So now, when as an HR, You are must taking interviews. You are must recruiting person for other firms. So what is the process? Means what is the basic steps once you received opening from your client that we have this kind of requirements. So what is the first thing you will do?
So I'll tell you what, one, as I said, I'm not into recruitment, so
Okay.
I don't source. If they have a set of recruiters and if that is the correct source of recruitment,
Okay.
for all the positions, recruiter is not only going to be the source.
Right.
Okay. Job portals is not going to be only source for all the positions.
Right.
Okay. So respectively, we try and map and see.
Okay.
Okay. So, for example, very recently, for one of the crucial positions, they had internally taken some job portals,
Okay.
but they failed to procure that particular position, but the rest of the positions were closed on them.
Okay.
Okay. Immediately, we come into that consulting mode.
Okay.
And we tell them, okay, let's go back into the past, analyze the data,
Right.
that what exactly, how much effort did we put in to close this particular position.
Okay.
All the efforts went in vain. There is no point. This source is a complete no.
Okay.
Then we look for the other source,
Okay.
which can be the most appropriate source for hiring. And apparently, for this particular client, we were hiring dermat doctors. Okay. And not all recruiters can hire doctors.
Okay.
Okay. So we have to again look for some correct vendors or look for some correct portals which can help my client to
Too high.
get the close.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the very first step.
Okay.
And then putting up the positions or whatever the sources. If it is a recruiter, then giving them, explaining them what do we want, how they are going to take the filter round of interview. Then comes to my team. We take the first round. My team member takes the first round of interview. If that's true, then it goes for a technical round. If that's true, then the final round comes for me,
Okay.
where I'm seeing that personality and all what I talked about.
Right.
So
So ma'am,
that's
now
the
you know you are conducting this leaderships and everything. So when you go for this kind of trainings, so how to take this take it come out means leadership is having everyone with the leadership, but just to make them understand that what is leadership, how you make them understand, and what is the transformation of from a normal person to a leader, how it's happened.
interesting. I'll tell you what, I'll answer you the last question first.
Okay, perfect.
None of the person can become a complete holistic package leader in one training.
Okay.
You cannot transform a person who was never managing a team or was barely managing a team to becoming a great leader, a dream leader to for every team member to have. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
So ma'am, sorry to cut you,
Okay?
but now
Yeah,
what is a leader? There
yeah,
are different
yeah.
things. There are different, boss is a different thing, manager is a different thing, but the leader is totally different thing.
Correct, correct. If I have to give you a glorified answer of being a leader, it is a complete package which has a little bit of boss in it,
Okay.
which has a little bit of manager in it, but who also has a bigger portion of emotional intelligence,
Okay.
who also has a bigger portion of looking at their team member beyond just a team member.
Okay.
They're also considering them as human.
Okay.
Yeah. A leader is actually someone who is going to handhold the team member, yet leave him at one point and say कि चलो बेटा मैंने आपको अभी यहाँ तक चलना सिखा दिया, अब आगे के 10 कदम चलो, तब तक let me plan the future for you.
Okay. Wow.
Let me go in the future, deep dive, create a pathway for you, and then you follow.
Okay.
Okay. That's someone. So, as I said, I feel that a leader really has to be a coach, a guide, a mentor, and my favorite, majorly a GPS.
Okay. What's that?
Yeah? Your Google Maps tell you now that 1 kilometer के आगे आपको traffic मिलने वाला है.
Right. Right.
Correct? That's also leader's job, right?
Okay. Wow. Great, ma'am.
If you have a less time for project, okay, for whatever reason, if your team has failed one or two trials already, then clearly you're short on time.
Right.
Your trial and error wala time is gone. Now, every day, every minute is demanding high performance.
Right.
Accordingly, you as a leader need to be quickly adopting the situation and say, "Okay, hey, dude, look, right now I can't leave you in your own space. Let me tell you the way.
Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you, and you just follow." Then there can be a time when you really can give them a space to play around. Give them a space to play around.
Wow. True.
Yeah? That's exactly the package of a great leader. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody who is not really toxic. But so I usually in my leadership training,
Okay.
I ask the leaders
Okay.
two questions.
Okay.
Write down top 5 to 10 characteristics that you need to compulsory have you in your team.
In a team.
इन योर टीम
Okay.
ठीक है मैंने आपको अगर खुला छोड़ दिया कि जाओ भी आप अपने एक एक टीम मेंबर खुद ढूंढ के लाओ दुनिया से तो आप एक परफेक्ट मैच ढूंढोगे ना
Right. Right.
तो वो आपका ड्रीम मैच के लिए टॉप 10 बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या होनी ही चाहिए
Okay.
एंड likewise I asked them if you had given a chance to choose your leader,
Okay.
choose your boss, choose your manager, choose your leader, what basic top 10 characteristics you need to have
Perfect.
आपका लीडर कैसा हो. Then I tell them, now that you have given the points,
Okay.
would you want to rate yourself in the scale of 10
Right.
for being a perfect team member and for being a perfect leader
Okay.
as per the characteristics that you have written.
Right. So
Yeah.
how you are nurturing this kind of leadership means if I want to be a leader, so how you are nurturing me?
Interesting. Yeah. Actually, you know what? The very first thing is setting that vision and the goal.
Okay.
Yeah. One, why did you become a leader?
Right.
Where you asked कि भैया बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो चलो आप आ जाओ लीडर बन जाओ.
Right.
Yeah, you also wanted to be. Where you talked that time. Yeah. So right from the very first, actually I call it as last week I was with one of the company. They had called me for this assessment only.
Okay.
That how to go about it. We want to train our first time managers who are great at work but who are not that great as a manager.
Okay.
Okay. And that's what I told them कि गर्भ संस्कार किया था कि आपने लीडर्स के साथ.
True.
You know? आज से 1 साल बाद नेक्स्ट अप्रैल में if your appraisal cycle is April, तो अगर if I want say we have to become a leader or a manager, okay, I need to start that hand holding journey at least 6 months before
Okay. Wow.
and set the goal 1 year before.
Oh.
So by April 2023, I should have set the goal with Bihag ki Bihag, look, this year your appraisal looks like this. But next year, you know what? I think you can become a manager.
Okay.
What makes you think so? Do again that competency mapping.
Right.
That to become this level of manager, these are the particular knowledge levels and skills levels and other personality in traits that you need. Map it with.
Big
I
comment.
was taking example of Bihar,
Yeah.
but whoever you feel that okay is my prospective manager, yeah, sit and do a competency mapping of that person. See the
Right.
gaps. Tell कि look Bihar, आप ना you're 60% through. 40% में ना 20% या 20% में आपके 50 चीजें सॉल्व हैं, ठीक है? You're again not in a very bad shape, but let's make a plan of action.
Okay.
And let's do a major controlling and measuring reviews together.
Good.
Yeah, let me help you become a manager in a year's time.
Yes.
Yeah, this is how imagine the level of motivation productivity that we
Yes,
will
man.
have
Exactly.
this year, since we know that my company is already thinking about next year.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and since you have helped them with the POA, yeah, you are already parallel track पे चल रहे हो ना, current
Yes.
performance versus future.
Yes.
So imagine this. Don't you find it so interesting that this 1 year is going to be completely positive, constructive, and happening?
So, ma'am, when you go for any corporates for this leadership and everything, so what you feel is it company is looking to hire a person and make them leader better, or they want their manager to become a leader?
Interesting question. Yeah, yeah. This depends.
Okay.
Okay, this depends company to company, situation to situation at times. But in most of the cases, according to me,
Okay.
I prefer is known devils are always better than unknowns.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah, number one. Number two, if you will want to agree to this, that a bad leader can destroy a complete good team,
True.
then why will you want to do a blind date with a leader?
Okay.
Yeah,
Agree.
if you're hiring an outside ka leader for a team which is set with your organization and with the tone of your organization,
Okay.
don't you think there can be a little gap?
Yes.
Yeah, that not always that we are just going to internally promote. ऐसे नहीं होता है every time.
Right.
Sometimes if you feel कि, okay, my leaders and my current setup could pull me only to this level
Okay.
as an organization,
Right.
but now I need a
Go
freshness, I
ahead.
need a complete restructuring,
Yeah.
I need some major changes. Or if you're adding a new vertical, or if you're expanding to somewhere, you know, and then you need a leader who is competent enough for pulling
Cool.
the
Yes.
organization to that direction.
Yeah. So maybe to change the perception of
In
the
that
company
case,
or employees.
hiring from outside is a better option.
Yeah. So maybe to change the perception of the thoughts of the team, you
Of
need a new
course.
leader or
So as I said, if you're hiring, so if it is expansion or if it's something
right.
where your organization currently do not have much enough competencies,
Exactly.
and neither you, according to the cost benefit analysis or a time benefit analysis, if you do not have enough time or enough, you feel कि यार ये इसको ट्रेन करके आगे लेके जाना तो कॉस्टली हो जाएगा, उससे तो मैं बाहर से लेकर आता हूँ, कुछ फ्रेशनेस भी आ जाएगी, बाहर की लर्निंग फ्रेश भी आ जाएगी, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. ओके,
Right.
वट एवर सूट्स. इफ यू आर हायरिंग फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, if that किसी को ये बुला लेने से कि hey guys, look, Bihag is your new manager, your new leader, your new boss, is not going to be
Exactly.
enough.
Exactly.
People are not going to just accept because of the glorified and big and huge and exorbitant
Yes.
experience that Bihag carries.
True.
That can give that wow factor probably to few of them.
Yeah.
What about the rest? Yeah? This is when that systematic induction between an employer and an
Yes.
employee. If you ask me in a semi-casual language, I call it ki, please leave the team and the leader on a date.
Yeah. True.
Allow them to date together.
Yes. Yes.
Allow them some me time together.
Yeah. So, ma'am, in your that particular specialization course, you have mentioned people profit leader. So why profit?
Interesting. See, I'll tell you very bluntly.
Okay.
Okay. Any organizations are working for profit.
Okay.
You are judged, measured on your performance basis on the numbers
True.
that you produce.
True.
Correct? One of the major factors.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not only the factor, but one of the major
Maybe the
factors.
driving force, maybe the 90% driving force
Correct.
is profit only.
Correct, exactly. Even you are
Yeah.
talking about मुझे इतनी salary चाहिए, मुझे इतना incentive
Yes.
चाहिए, मुझे इतना ये चाहिए. So everybody is asking for it.
Right.
Okay. Who is going to produce profits?
Okay. Right.
People.
Right.
Right? So if you want to take people together while multiplying your profit, a leader will have to maintain the balance. You have no
Okay.
choice.
Okay.
Okay? You cannot be just people's leader. I have seen such instances, Bia, when leaders come and fight with us if I'm in the capacity of a HR, that, hey, look, you need to give this facility to my team member. You're not taking care of my person. You're not taking care of my person. And we feel, अरे भाई ये क्या हो रहा है?
Right.
हाँ, या वो अपनी टीम को दुख ना हो, उनका रिटेंशन ग्राफ बाद में हम भी चेक करेंगे ना कि आप एक लीडर बोल के आपकी टीम से इतना एट्रिशन हो गया.
Right.
Okay? So to maintain that, sometimes some leaders will become too cheesy and too sugar coated with their team.
Yeah. They become greedy
They will
regarding
want to
performance
avoid
and
all
all.
critical conversations also.
Agree.
Okay? And there may be some leaders who are just talking numbers and hitting their team below the belt and saying कि hey यार तुम्हारा ये क्वार्टर का पूरा screw up हो गया, you're behind so much, I'm not even going to allow you to breathe now.
Totally agree.
Yeah. And then In any of the case, organization at the large is at loss.
Okay.
Either the attrition is high, so again there is a people loss plus cost loss.
Right.
Yeah, and if you're not making enough profit the way you were anticipating, again you are at loss.
Yes.
So if you want growth to be the constant thing for your organization, then balancing people and profit is important.
Okay.
You might be seeing a lot of organizations who are constant.
Yes.
They're neither going
Going
deep,
down, up. Yeah.
going down, neither going up. They're
Yes.
constant. Yeah?
Yes.
For them, for people who are going just down, for companies who are going up, but the cost is also an issue when it comes to people cost.
Yes.
All such organizations need to sit back and do this analysis.
Yeah. So, ma'am, when you take these trainings, what corporations, what companies requirements, what they think that after the finishing of your training, what the change they wants to see in their efforts.
Interesting. So that's why we sit with the organization understanding the objective of the training.
Okay.
And the measurable outcomes that they expect.
Right. Right.
This is how the content is designed, the delivery method is chosen, and all of that.
Okay.
Okay. As I said, overnight you're not going to see any change.
Right.
Okay. But if you are facilitating or if you're creating an experience, I'm not a certified facilitator, but have learned a bit of it.
Right. Agree.
But yes, I'm an experiential based trainer.
Right.
You give me any topic, I can create activities, I can create stimulations, I can create something around it where I can throw people into a situation, ask them to come out of it, create those learning experience for them.
Okay.
So that at least for next 1 week, they're going to ponder upon what just happened.
Right.
Yeah. And even if they're leaving with that thinking hat, I think most of the outcome is achieved.
Okay.
Yeah. Basis, actually, you know what they have after this, no? Companies should have an agreement.
Okay.
Or the scope of work with the trainer should be such that at least 15 days later or 1 month later to 3 months later, we will have an assessment related to it.
Okay.
Yeah? Only then you actually know the ROI and the benefit that you
exactly
could derive from the training. Immediately जो आप feedback form भराते हो ना, that's only a reaction.
Yes.
That's not the real thing. Tomorrow, when they go to the ground, go to the office and start applying the learning, that's when they know the real thing.
True, man.
So, assessment at least after a month, after 3 months, so systematic approach is very important.
True, man. So, I'm now, if I want to be a leader, do I need to change my mindset or habits, or do I need to change both of things?
Depends again.
Okay.
What is it that we are wanting to achieve?
Okay.
Okay. Second, what is my team dynamics?
Okay.
How is the market, organization, and the rest of the things are changing? See, if you want your team to be dynamic enough and adaptable enough, you need to lead the way.
Right.
You can't say कि यार अब तुम मुझसे 40 साल और 50 साल की उम्र में कहाँ एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो इतने चेंजेस और ये दिस लैंग्वेज is just showing a mind block.
Yeah. So it's just a mindset.
You're showing a mind block.
Okay.
And expecting your team members to be very open to learning, open to changes, open to anything and everything that comes to their way.
Right.
It sounds funny, right? We have heard when we bring in when we do HR assignments also, and we bring in some policies.
Right.
Okay. There had been times in HR audits when the employees have told on our face, सारे रूल्स रेगुलेशन सिर्फ हमारे लिए है या बॉस के लिए भी कुछ है?
True.
Yeah. So it's like you want me to come on time, my boss comes 2 hours late.
Right.
Okay, as simple as that.
Yeah.
So now when the generation, the market, the approach is changing,
right,
you also have to change. It's simple.
Yes. So before we end, just few questions. I just want to clarify that. Now what you think that this Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they both don't know that, how to be a leader. They want to be a leader, but they don't know how to be. So how to start, because they're just into education and everything. So how to develop that quality of a leader?
Brilliant. So to tell you what, none of the generations till date knew how to become a leader.
Agree. Agree.
We learned over the time,
True.
right? So that's the first keyword that I want people to know, that be open to learning.
Okay.
Listen to someone, whatever that person is saying.
Right.
You may be 25-year-old young chap with brilliant ideas, which probably we at your age never had.
Right.
Respect, respect to it, bro. But at the same time, when a 50-year-old is trying to give you the experience that this person had, you also need to show the respect. Learn from that person. वो सिचुएशन चाहे द लोगों की every situation चाहे द लोगों की, but if you, the learning is a learning, it can be customized and personalized only if you know the foundation.
Right.
Yeah, you the we had also learned ABCD only, and they are also learning ABCD only.
True.
Just that the vocabulary now is changing.
Yes. True.
Correct. The words have changed.
Yeah.
The foundation remains the same.
Yes.
Likewise, both the parties, even this Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and our generations, whatever, I need to come to that consensus. हमको थोड़ा नीचे आना और इनको थोड़ा ऊपर आना, and we need to come to a common platform where we are sharing learnings with each other.
Right.
Only then you grow.
Yeah.
To become a leader or not to become a leader, but growth comes only with learning, with patience, with listening.
Wow. Great, ma'am. So, ma'am, now a lot of people are, especially in this generation, they're having idols. I want to become like Mark Zuckerberg. I want to become like someone else. So, how important is this to set an idol to become a leader?
Interesting. Set any leader. I have no personally, if you ask me, I have no problem. You set any idol as a leader.
Okay.
But read through their complete journey.
Right.
Know about them, which is never published.
Yeah. It's not in book.
Yeah. See how much have they really been through.
Their struggles and all.
Struggles, learnings, failures, everything. Yeah.
Yes.
There's so many trial and errors. I'm sure even Elon Musk might have been through so many ups and downs to become what he is.
Yeah. True. True.
Yeah? And he was open to learning. He was open to hearing. At least that time. Abhi ki baat alag hai, but that time.
True.
And accept. Sometimes I feel having a realistic expectations is equally important.
Yes.
When I say realistic, I'm now nowhere saying you cannot have Elon Musk as your idol. You can. Probably you will be the second Elon Musk. I don't mind. Yeah. But see how many years did he took to become Elon Musk?
True.
Okay. Say example, if he has took 20 years, and if you want to cover that in 10 years time, you need to do enough research, enough learning, enough of maturity you need to have in yourself. तो सीखोगे ही नहीं तो वो 10 साल का गैप कैसे भरोगे?
Yeah. So, ma'am, last question. So, what do you think, ma'am? Who is a better leader, or who can be a better leader? A person with an experience, or a person with having a mindset?
Oh, this is so interesting. I feel experience, I feel both.
Okay.
Experience without a correct mindset. When I say correct mindset is like, for example, and mindset to
Grow.
try,
Yeah.
a mindset to grow,
Yeah.
a mindset to apply,
Yeah.
a mindset which is ready to fail.
To listen.
Without that, उस experience का क्या करोगे?
Yeah.
Likewise, if you have all positive attitude and perfect mindset, but you don't know how to do it,
Yes.
still you are a failure. You can't do. I am sitting with a great mindset on my couch,
Yeah.
and I want to go to London. I don't know how to. What kind of challenges would I face there? Yeah. So both is equally important in its correct proportionate sizes, I believe.
Because in corporates, even I heard a lot of times that I am having 20 years of experience, yet my company selected someone else who is less experienced than me as my leader. So does
Correct.
that means that experience is not that much important as a mindset?
It is something actually like that.
Okay.
If you have enough experience, so I'm just giving you a random example, may not fit in all the situations, but just to for you to understand what goes behind, right? I have great experience,
Okay.
but I have no attitude and no mindset to hear anyone.
Right.
Okay, it's I, me, myself. Would I become a great leader? Then may need to accept some other leaders क्योंकि see टेक्निकल एबिलिटीज ना आप किसी को सिखा सकते हो.
Right.
आप कैरेक्टर कैसे बिल्ड करोगे?
True.
कर भी दोगे लेकिन एट व्हाट कॉस्ट?
True.
Not the cost of complete team, complete organization for that matter, right?
Yes.
Sometimes company need to see that as well. As I said, I'm again and again repeating, company also need to see the scalability portion, the adaptability portion
Right, ma'am.
in that person, right?
Right.
So it's much beyond your knowledge, experience, your academics, and all of that.
Right, ma'am. And my last
Have to
question,
achieve your level at least.
yeah, and my last question I asked to my all the guests is that how you define success? What is success for you?
I feel success for me is achieving every milestone and setting the new.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. So one milestone back then was मैं अपना business शुरू करके ही रहूंगी.
Okay.
I started, I achieved, I am successful at that point. Okay, I have achieved, I celebrated tonight, tomorrow is a new day, what next? That's done. So should I die today? No, that's not the end. So there has to be some next goal, next success parameters, right?
Right, ma'am.
So according to me, success is a continuous achieving cycle.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. I've learned a lot of things regarding leaders and everything. And beautiful conversation on this. Seriously. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vihar. I'm actually telling you one of the brilliant candid conversations I really had. Some very intelligent questions that I would have ever had about my field came from you. I am so thankful about it. Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much,
very
ma'am.
much.
Have a great day, ma'am.